So I'm sitting here with with someone whom I called a communist the past week over a Thanksgiving take. I think it's so un-American. I think it's disgraceful. I've always been a big fan of the saying "better dead than red," and it's very true. And I'm considering just ending this entire thing right here, right now, because I will not share a podcast with someone who is against capitalism and is against all these evil things. So I put out a tweet that said, if you are a ham on Thanksgiving person, I think you're a communist. And like, I don't mean that in like a good way. I know there are a lot of people out there who think communism is great and good for them. They're terrible people. I wish them nothing but death and suffering, which is in their future if the communist continues. But so you're a ham on Thanksgiving kind of person?
All right, hold on. Let me clear my good name for a moment.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
I have turkey on Thanksgiving.
Okay, so good. So there we go. Perfect.
But
American, red, white, and blue.
I did also I had two types of ham also on Thanksgiving. We have a prosciutto.
Okay.
As far as like an appetizer.
Okay,
rolled up
appetizer, perfectly fine.
Okay, and we also had a glazed like sliced ham. It's just something that it's strange because I don't think anybody in our family really like loves ham. Mm-hmm. But it's always there for every holiday meal.
Okay,
always.
I respect that because I do think that ham is not something like people can hate ham. Yeah. I feel like no one really like loves ham.
No, yeah, I think that's fair.
No one's like, oh, my mom's making her ham tonight.
To be honest, I kind of like that was just like me responding to you is kind of like a one-off. Like, oh yeah, I'm having ham on.
But you're also having Thanksgiving because you do know that there are people out there who will not have turkey at all.
Yeah,
and they'll just have ham.
Believe me, I will not go to bat for ham. I'm not.
Okay, yeah,
I'm not laying down my life for ham.
Because like I'll have ham on like probably the only time I ever eat like an actual like ham is probably like Easter.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's the appropriate holiday, right, for ham.
I feel like
as like a main.
I feel like it's kind of like the main course, but for me, Jesus, we live in the area. It's not like we're living in like Arizona where turkey's like you've never seen a turkey before in your life. It's like I see turkeys like in my yard every day. Like you need to eat a turkey if you're from this area on Thanksgiving. And people who don't, I think they're communists. They deserve nothing but the worst. We should exile them from this country. They shouldn't be allowed to vote. We should put them in re-education camps on why you should be eating turkey on Thanksgiving.
You don't find that extreme?
No, not at all. No. I think re-education camps for people deciding to eat pig over turkey on Thanksgiving is perfectly normal. Yeah, no, I think it's wild.
How do you cook your turkey? Whoever you have turkey on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
However you have it, how is it prepared?
She stuffs it up with stuffing and with sausage and everything like that, and then she like layers it in bacon, and she just like roasts it in the oven.
Layers it in bacon.
Yeah, so. It's pretty good because like the bacon juices like seep into the turkey.
Yeah.
So it's still like there's still like some pig involvement, but it's still.
I'll tell you what, I'm having my Thanksgiving turkey the wrong way.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'll bring you in one. Have you ever had a turducken?
No. That seems a little pretentious.
It seems like because I was watching on Thanksgiving. I was watching on I think Fox is doing some like documentary on John Madden.
Okay.
And his big thing was like, oh, turducken. That was like kind of his thing. Like I think one year in Detroit, he went there and then someone brought him a turducken and was like, that was his thing. So, you know how they would always like at the end of the football game, like they eat turkey or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they would bring a turducken,
yeah, right.
And like that was his thing. I've never had a turducken. I don't like duck very much. I feel like that's kind of.
I like duck. I don't have a problem with duck. I think that people like to. I don't know if they actually like it or maybe they just like to say turducken.
Yeah, they kind of like the idea.
Yeah,
they like the idea more than the practice.
They definitely like the idea of it too.
Yeah. I guess the weirdest thing I ever made was, are you a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Okay, so I once made a rum ham.
Okay.
I got a crock pot, bought a ham, I bought some Bacardi Gold, I put the ham in there.
And you just let it
put it in, and it was terrible.
I can imagine.
It was not great.
I can imagine.
It really did soak in all the juices. I thought maybe the alcohol would like boil off. I only had like a quarter of a piece.
Yeah.
But it was definitely, the alcohol was still there. It was definitely getting a kick from it. But I think I brought that to Easter like 3 or 4 years ago.
I was gonna say, was this for a holiday? So it was for a holiday.
Yeah, I told my family, like, don't worry, I'll take care of the food. And then I came with
no.
no. I told them, I was like, I'm gonna make a rum ham, and they're
That's
like,
it?
They were all like, we are not going to be eating that. And I was like, yeah, no, but I'm bringing a rum ham, so no one can say that I did not contribute. But yeah, no, I just think that, I mean, I don't mind if you're having ham as kind of like a side thing on Thanksgiving. Like you said, if it's kind of like, if the turkey's there and you don't even, like, even if you don't eat the turkey and you just eat the ham, that's fine. But to say you only have ham, like if you're like, I'm having ham instead of turkey. It's like, I don't know. I think you should leave the country.
Well,
like,
it's also strange for the fact that, you know, if someone says they're only having like ham as the main attraction at a Thanksgiving feast, it's strange because that means you chose not to have turkey.
Correct.
I feel like there's not a lot of people that just don't like. Maybe people are like meh on turkey. I'm kind of meh on turkey, to be honest.
So am I. I'm not a huge turkey guy myself.
But if someone tells me they're not having turkey with Thanksgiving, I instantly think, okay, maybe they're vegetarian.
I think vegetarian, vegan, yes.
But I never think, oh, you're not having a turkey, so you're having ham. We've said ham 60 times in the last 5 minutes.
Ham, yes, this is the ham episode. But my Thanksgiving was pretty chill. It was pretty much exactly how I envisioned it. I went over there, I turned on Star Wars Episode 3 for 5 minutes. My dad starts crying about how I'm trying to ruin holidays by watching a Star Wars movie. So he turns on football. He always does this thing where he like asks. He'll be like, what does everyone want to watch? And I'll be like, oh, Star Wars. And then like I'll get my mom to say Star Wars, and then he's like, I don't give a fuck. We're watching football.
Pretty boring day for football.
Yeah, the games weren't great.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the Lions game kind of came down to the last second, but it's I have no interest. I don't care who wins in the Lions versus the Bears. It's
I think it would be. I know it's tradition. I think it would be interesting to see other teams play on Thanksgiving other than the Cowboys, the Lions,
and so it's always the Cowboys, it's always the Lions, and then there's another game that has two teams.
Like random?
Yes. So like, do you remember like the butt fumble game?
Oh, that was a Thanksgiving
game.
Oh, okay.
So whatever the NBC night game is has nothing. It's random? Like it's just it's like the normal Thursday night game.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
So yeah, because I think that might be the last time the Patriots played on Thanksgiving. Trying to think. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's kind of cool that it's like a tradition thing. They've been playing there on Thanksgiving for like 50 years or however long those teams were. But it sucks when it's like, really, we're going to have like the 8-1 Lions play against the Bears. Like, no one cares about this. And then I think who the Cowboys face? Was it the Chargers? No.
I forget.
Yeah, I think, no interest. But then the Bills played the Saints. And that was like a blowout. Who gave a fuck about that game? But it was Thanksgiving's nice. You do any Black Friday shopping or anything of that?
They played the Raiders.
The Raiders, that's who they played. That's right.
No, I didn't do any Black Friday shopping because
I think Black Friday's dead.
Black Friday that's exactly what I'm getting at. Totally dead. It's all online.
It's been going on.
It's been going on for a month.
It should be called Cyber Weekend now. Yeah, I mean, it should be called Cyber Friday through Cyber Month. Because like I remember when I was younger, my mom's like, "Ooh," and then they have Cyber Monday where they have all the deals that are online, and it's like, "Oh, you can buy things online." But no, I think I used to go Black Friday shopping with my mom when I was in like middle school and early high school, and like try to get like video games and Legos and shit like that. But
I used to do all that shit too. Like I also like just going like maybe to rent them outlets, like trying to get Christmas gifts for myself or others, whatever. But yeah, it's dead. I mean, I remember when the calendar turned November, I remember getting emails like Black Friday deals starting now. And I'm like, that's not how Black Friday works at all.
Yeah,
that's just a holiday sale.
Or these stores will be like, oh yeah, we open up at 5 p.m. on Thanksgiving. It's like, well, that's not Friday. And like, what, like, who's going to, like, imagine, have you ever been with, like, on Thanksgiving and been like, someone has to be like, I have to go Black Friday shopping now. Bye.
Yes.
You've been with people?
Yeah, I've been with people that do that. Or like,
Jesus.
Or that have texted me and been like, oh, I'm going, we have to get, we're getting up early. Because I know that, like, we used to do the day before Thanksgiving was a good, like, drinking night.
Yep. It's kind of like the Friendsgiving thing.
And then also on Thanksgiving, we would kind of like, some people would get together afterwards, not necessarily at a bar because most are closed, but they'd be like, oh, we can't. I'm getting up early to go Black Friday shopping. Do you have any like good Black Friday stories? Like specifically, you said Legos, video games.
Trying to think. Yeah, me and my mom would always go to Walmart because they would price match everything.
Okay.
And then we would just like lie about like, we'd be like, oh yeah, this Lego is, on sale for this for like $60. And the people at the fucking cashier, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're like, it's just not the same Legos. And they'll be like, oh, we don't give a fuck with $200 off. I'm trying to think.
Well, I guess outside of Black Friday, do you have any wild like waiting in line for stuff stories?
Waiting in line. I once waited outside a suspected murderer's house to ask him
Excellent. Yes.
to ask him why he will not be interviewed by Kirk Minahan.
Not a great Black Friday adventure.
No, I guess I've never really waited.
You've never done an overnight for a console?
No.
I did it for the Wii.
Okay.
Outside of a Target.
Okay.
It was free. It was November. It was
Yep.
like November 18th or something like that. Freezing. And I haven't done it since. I did technically for the Switch. I waited, but I only got there they opened at midnight.
Okay.
And I already had the pre-order. It was like,
oh, okay. So yeah. So
there's a chance I don't get it. Like,
yeah, you knew you had it in the bag. I'm trying to think. No, because I got my Xbox on Amazon. My Wii, I was like in 4th grade. So I think my parents got that for me for Christmas.
That was a good get for them because that was tough that
year.
Yeah,
no, it was
People
great.
were dying over the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, you want to know a kind of somewhat funny story? I think I was in 4th grade or 5th grade for the Wii, but for my first game system ever was the Nintendo 64 and the Sega Genesis. Like I don't remember getting it because I was born in '96. My dad just had it, so I remember like just playing it growing up, and I got the GameCube in 2001, or maybe it was 2000. I was in kindergarten. I believe it might have been 2001. And so I get it on Christmas. I'm so happy. I'm like, oh, this is great. I got 4 games. I got Mario Party 4, Metroid Prime, Luigi's Mansion, and I think Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. So I was just like balling out. Like it was like the greatest day of my life.
Oh yeah.
And but you know, I had family over, so we had to like do things, and like I had to like go like eat with my grandparents. I couldn't be on it all day. So I turn it off, go upstairs, and I go back downstairs like an hour later, and I go to play my GameCube, and it's just not turning on. And so I'm like, oh, I'll just take the discs out and like blow on them, because like that's what you do on the N64, you know.
Yeah.
So I had no fucking idea. I was 5, and I'm like, Dad, something's up with the GameCube, and he's like, yeah, it's fine. No, it's like he thought maybe something was like unplugged. No, it was broken. It broke on Christmas Day, 2001. And in my head wasn't like, we'll just take it back to Toys R Us or to Target and get a new one. My head was like, fuck.
That's
Santa just brought this. Like, Santa doesn't take returns. So like I'm like crying to my dad about how like next year what we can do. It's because my parents would always play like, oh, we can't afford this. Oh, but Santa can bring it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, so what we can do is we can like put it out next year for Christmas. Santa can take it back and he can return it and fix it. And then the year after that, he can bring it back when it's fixed. So like I had like a 2-year plan in my head of how I can get this GameCube back. And my dad was like, no. Like I know someone who can fix it. And I was like, bullshit, you do. This is like a brand new system. Like Santa fucking made this.
Yeah.
I was like,
it has mini discs.
I was like, it has like magic inside of it. Like you don't know you don't know Santa Claus. Like shut the fuck up. So anyway, and then I think like my dad under his breath was like, Santa's not fucking real. I'll go to Target and I'll get it back tomorrow. And I was like, so like the next day, like I ended up getting one, like I believe a couple days later, because like
pretty wild.
They were so sold out, so they didn't have like things to just swap out.
Yeah.
So I had to wait a couple days, and then my parents were like, yeah, you can just play it for like 5 days straight. We don't give a shit.
That's pretty wild.
But I just remember as a kid being like, well, this sucks. Like this broke, and Santa can't do shit for it because you know he's too busy doing all these other things. But I don't really remember. So you said you waited out for a Wii.
For the Wii, yeah, Target in Smithfield. It was quite miserable. I remember, and this will date the situation. So the Wii it was 15 years, right?
Yeah, it's been 15 years. Like a couple
weeks ago.
Weeks ago. Yeah, it's crazy.
You hit 15 years old, which is pretty wild in itself. But we were also waiting outside. Me, my friend Adam, and my friend John. We waited outside, and we had a small DVD player, portable DVD player.
Okay.
With the flip up screen.
Yep.
And we were watching Seinfeld on the
okay,
which at the time was the height of technology.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I remember that.
Like I'm trying to think of what I had for a phone. I'm pretty sure I had a Sidekick at the time, AOL Instant Messenger and all that.
I didn't think I had a phone.
Yeah.
I didn't get a phone until I was in 7th grade.
This was high school for me at some point. At some point in high school. But yeah, we waited outside, and it was pretty rough because it was also at the time where we didn't quite. We were in. I think we were like 50th in line, and we weren't sure if
that's
we were gonna get one. And Target wasn't saying anything.
Yep.
So like then but then 7 a.m. rolls around and they open at 8 or something like that.
Did they like hand out?
Yeah, they were like they basically went in line and was like, all right, it ends here, and we were like well within within to get it. But I remember being in line and they're like only one per person, and they had like this whole like lineup thing, and it was pretty wild. But I would never do it again because it was cold as fuck.
Yep.
And I remember getting home, and I remember the day before, I was like, I'm gonna get this thing, and I'm gonna play the shit out of every game. And
you went home and slept.
I went home and fell asleep for 24 hours.
Yep.
I mean, it was close to 24 hours. I was asleep, so I wouldn't do that again.
No,
now Black Friday's dead.
The only thing, so when I worked at Best Buy, we had a couple like releases like that. The Switch, I remember. I think the Switch released the same year I was working there,
2017.
Yeah, and what was actually bigger. Not bigger, but like had more like people like because there really weren't. You couldn't like pre-order it. Were those mini NESs?
Oh,
do you remember like those those NES minis and SNES minis?
The classic consoles.
Yes, and that they had like 50 games. And the big thing with the Super Nintendo one was that they had like Star Fox 2 that was never released, and so we had a bunch of people lined up outside, and we had this one guy, and he brought like 10 people, and they all got like their slips, and then they were selling. Their slips,
right?
To like people who showed up, like I just figured I'd see if you guys have any of them, and I think someone bought one for like $400, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You can get those anywhere now.
Oh yeah, I mean you can get them like
they are so overproduced. But I remember that being a huge thing.
Yeah, because they were like sold out and everyone was like, oh, it's like the old systems, it's like my gaming and everything like that.
Yeah, well, it's an easy way to play all those games, and before that, it's tough especially for the people that just want to play those specific games and not buy a Wii.
Yes.
And download the virtual console.
Yep.
That. Yeah.
But then I think like a year ago, like my buddy was like, because he bought two, he bought like one to play and then one for himself. He just was like, you want this? And I was like, oh sure. And I was like, he's like, I don't know, $20. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, I was going to give you 80 or however much you paid for it. He goes, no, just give me 20. Nice. I think he needed like gas money or something like that. But it's, but yeah, no crazy stories. I still got to do my Christmas shopping. I have this cool idea, for Christmas gifts this year that, I'll be talking about a little bit more later. Not today, but in a week or two, because I don't know. I think they can
spoilers.
No spoilers, but
right.
I think they can be pretty cool.
Okay.
So I don't know. It was kind of like early Christmas today when I woke up. I don't know about you. Not when I woke up, but when the KMS was released.
I was on my phone and I was going through Twitter and
I was on Twitter and I saw like Stacy from Madawaska's phone tweeted out something like new KMS is up, and I'm like, oh, Cullinane, Blind Mike, and Chris did something. I was like, oh, they shouldn't really be calling it KMS, but I mean, like good for it. And then I go and it's like, then I see the show tweeted out like Kirk is back for now, and I was like, kind of. I had mixed emotions about it because I'm like, I'm happy for Kirk, but then I hear him say that like everything's going so good for him, and like so he wanted to try to do the show, and I was like, oh, I hope he doesn't like just completely like back. Like I hope he takes the full time amount and like he's truly going at his pace, and he didn't feel like he needed to be rushed to come back.
Well, I gotta be honest. I was so surprised by it, and when he said that and said that he like everything is going so well, I was like, well, and he said it in the show too. He was, we're gonna find out if the show is what makes everything sour. And you know what? I'm cool with him, absolutely. Like, I don't have a place in this to like, be like, oh, you should be doing shows.
Of course.
If he does no shows, that's great. But also, this one show, and I know that this is the only show for the week. I love that.
Oh, I think it would be.
I love that. I kind of like that.
Also, like I kind of like the idea of him not having a schedule.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of him like, you wake up and if there's a KMS that day, you get one, and if there's not one for 2 months, you don't get one. And if he does 5 shows in 1 week, like
it's a bonus.
It's just it should literally be. I think whenever he wants to do it, he should be able to do it. And if he never wants to do it, then good for him.
So be it. Even though Blind Mike dogged me on KMS today,
he did.
Whatever.
I think Kirk thinks you're Craig.
Yeah, I also think he thinks I'm Matt from Providence.
I think so.
Yeah, so whatever. I don't care. He doesn't need to know who I am.
Yeah.
But even though Mike dogged me, he was very astute with the not tweeting out for numbers, because making it a shadow drop episode made it that much cooler and better,
it was so
and
much
more
cooler.
exciting. Yeah,
Because then if you see the numbers, then you're like, oh, it's coming, and you keep thinking to
Yeah.
yourself like, oh, when's it gonna drop?
and also I've kind of been on the wagon of like, calls. Certain calls are great, but the bad calls kind of
also,
outweigh the good
what are
calls.
people gonna say today? Oh, Kirk, great to hear you again.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I've been Craig. I think you should just get rid of calls on his show. I was listening to his show on the way in, and I think one of the calls was like, there's this guy named Jay, and Jay thinks Kirk knows who he is, and Craig's like, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, well, I think that was kind of inside baseball for like some
Yep.
DM thread that I was a part of for a brief moment
Yep.
last week. And why I'm no part of it anymore. But it sounds like the Killer Kowalski called in 3 times on VGS most recently.
Oh, I just heard.
But
the
it also
first one.
sounds like he might fill in for Whiskey Mike in his absence.
Oh yeah. See, I'm
not-
only halfway through the episode,
I'm
so
getting-
you're
Getting
really
too far in the weeds here, but
But no, it's funny. I was listening, but yeah, no, Mike. He's like, who's Justin doing that with? And Mike just goes, don't worry about it.
yeah, don't worry about it. Oh, you know
I
what?
was like,
Fuck you, Mike. I've been cutting clips for your ass for almost a year
Mike,
now.
the ungrateful.
Every week,
The
every Sunday. Except for
Oh.
this past Sunday, I totally forgot. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, he
But-
doesn't. I guess he has his mindset down south now. So I think it's.
I produced the Relaffables.
But
Not good enough.
but
I'm just a nobody.
But who
An
knows?
average
But
nobody.
but no, that was very funny. I will say. So I just want to. I don't want to talk too much KMS.
Yeah.
But I will say. So it was brought up about how like I went to go sit with them at the the Quantum Week live show. I see them walk in and they all go sit in the corner. I'm kind of sitting in the middle there by myself.
Yep.
And Dave Cullinane like waves me over. And so now I'm like stuck in a position where I don't want to go over there and be like, hey, I'm one of the gang, remember me? I used to work for the show. But I also don't want to be like, oh, I'm too cool to go say hi and sit with these guys. So I wave. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? And I hear someone in the audience say like, oh, Justin's too cool to go sit with him. So I was like, fuck, now I can't, like, it's a lose-lose situation, like all around. So that's why I went to go sit with them. But the biggest takeaway, not the biggest takeaway, but one of the takeaways I got from that was I don't think Dave Cullinane wants to do the wrap-up show. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of got
He's
caught
like-
by surprise there.
Yeah, and I feel like he was very. I don't think Dave considered this like a show. It was very strange to hear Kirk be like, "Yeah, no, I mean it's good." And Dave's like, "Well, this isn't like a real show."
To be fair, I think that Dave is very involved with the case now.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded like they were doing stuff for the case right after they
Oh,
reported.
okay, yeah, that makes
So
sense.
I think that Dave is so locked into what's going on with the case, so he makes sure he does. I'm sure he's going to do a great job, but he's so locked into it that
Yep.
he didn't even think about it. Put the total blinders on, and also it's been a few weeks.
It has.
Yeah, so
But no, all I want to say is, I mean, I think Kirk sounded great today. Like I don't know anything in particular, but yeah, if he decided to, I know he said he might do a couple shows next week, or whatever works best for him. But I kind of like the idea of him being off Twitter too.
yeah. Oh, I don't think Twitter's good for anybody.
No,
to be
it's
honest.
not. And I think, little segue here, that I'm sure everyone's talking about this new rule they have that you're
Yeah.
not allowed to post pictures or videos of anyone in particular, which
Without
is
their
just like,
permission.
just think of any big news story of the past like 3 years.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that like, so you're telling me that like the Billy Bush like grab her by the pussy thing that happened, that was like, oh, this was like, that wouldn't be allowed. I mean, he didn't give permission.
I guess where I'm confused is, would he count as a private individual? You know what I mean? Like, wasn't the stipulation that it's like a private person?
I guess, but what about, what I thought about? I thought about like the Karens who will like call the like police on like black people like walking their dog, and like people get in their face and are like, oh, this woman's calling the police, like what a bitch, and like,
Right.
well, she's a private individual.
Big win for all the Karens out there.
Yeah.
No more of those videos going to be posted.
But I don't know. You know what this reminded me of? Reminded me of Tumblr. Do you remember? You remember Tumblr?
So yeah,
right?
I know Tumblr, but I wasn't really.
So
part of
Tumblr
that.
was like, it was kind of like this artsy place where like people would go and like post like different art and things like that, and it was uncensored. I think it was sold in like 2013 to Yahoo for like 1.1 or 1.4 billion dollars.
I do remember the sale of it.
It was huge. It was huge. It was recently sold in 2019 for. Would you like to guess how much it sold for?
I mean, I'm assuming billions, right? Or no?
No, $3 million.
$3 million. Wow.
Do you know why? Like the main reason it lost so much in value.
I assume because they
started censoring
censored?
things.
Right.
Yeah, they started censoring things. They got like a big part of Tumblr was like porn.
I was just gonna say.
And they stopped like allowing like nude like images or like drawings and things like that. And it just
no.
So I can definitely see like Twitter. I'm not saying like Twitter like thrives on porn as much as Tumblr did, but it kind of thrives on the openness of the internet of kind of like you're able to say whatever, you're able to post whatever. But now I feel like you can't post a photo being like, oh, this guy, or what about like all the times like these celebrities will be like, oh, this guy is like a racist, but like that happens. Like none of this stuff is going to be like, I'm not saying that's good. I'm saying like it's good to have a dialogue about things.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're just shutting down the dialogue.
It does. Steve Robinson made a good point on Twitter. Bitcoin Steve Robinson.
Yep. I'd love it if he wrote a book on. What do you think his book on Bitcoin would be like?
I mean, it's going to be what he preaches all the time, right? It's like Bitcoin. If you're going to invest in any kind of crypto, and you should be, Bitcoin is the one.
Can you write a book on that?
Sounds like Steve Robinson could.
Like I feel like that's a paragraph. like instead of buying Dogecoin, buy Bitcoin.
I'm not gonna lie, I buy all the way into it, and I'm with Steve on that. It's like all the shit coins fine, like you can make some money in the. I'm not gonna get too far into this in the short term, but Bitcoin is the one you should be buying, and you should be, and also go to listen to more on money.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's interesting too because that's what I was saying. Steve said that this is going to hurt good journalism, and I do agree with that because I think that a lot of that is like, imagine you can like get
it's going to hurt all journalism.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you can't post like you look at like videos of like riots or people fight. Like I saw a video today.
That's exactly what I was thinking about
of the people in the airport fighting.
Yes,
and it's like, well, oh look at these here people are in like Minneapolis beating the shit out of each other, and I know it's not like groundbreaking journalism, but. Did you get their permission, or like is that considered a public event?
Right.
Or I don't know. It's strange.
Well, I mean, I guess it's the video. What's going to happen is, and I don't know how this works, or is it a loophole? Because I'm trying to look into the exact details.
Mm-hmm.
But can you link to a video outside of Twitter? Because that's what's going to happen, or a photo outside of Twitter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then how far along behind is I don't know, Facebook and Instagram are already doing this.
Well, I thought the Facebook had the like exact opposite like policy when it comes to like pictures. Like if you post a picture of yourself online, like if you post a picture on your profile of like you just like smiling outside a bar, like that picture can now be used by like anyone.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure. Like I could take it and be like, hey, look at this guy, what a moron, and then you'd be like, can he not use my picture? And then Facebook will be like,
it's public.
Too bad. And you posted it publicly on Facebook.
Well, I guess they can you can make yourself private, I guess, and hide your photos if you really wanted to.
Yeah. So it's I have no idea what's going to happen. But no, I can see Twitter stock going like very down in the basement.
I personally think that this is an easier way for Twitter to justify banning
censorship.
People.
Yeah.
Well, censorship, but also just like if you notice over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of like situations where people are. I hate the word shadow banned. I think that's the dumbest shit ever. Whatever, you're banned or you're not. Whatever, it doesn't matter. People are censored or being kicked off of Twitter for the 12 hours, and they're not really getting a good reason for why.
Yep.
Or the reason for why is kind of bogus.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with this, they can kind of be like, here's exactly why you were. Follow the rules or else it'll happen again. And then I think there'll be other people that do the exact same thing. They won't be banned, but they can justify it now. It's not like a weird like, oh, let's fucking ban this person for X, Y, and Z. Yeah,
it's because all of this obviously comes in the news that Jack Dorsey is stepping down.
Yeah,
from CEO of Twitter, and I'm not the biggest fan of him. I think he's a bright guy. He kind of knows. I think so. One of my favorite episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience is when Joe Rogan and Jack Dorsey have like a Pokemon battle, and it's pretty much Joe Rogan sends out Tim Pool and is like, go Tim Pool, fight for conservatives. Yes. And Jack Dorsey, I forget her name, but she was like in charge of like banning people on Twitter, and he goes they pretty much had like a Pokemon battle where they both had someone else fight for them. It's one of the best episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience. I think it's like 4.5 hours long. It's great. If
I do remember that. It's episode 1258.
Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't even begin to pronounce her name, but
yes.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the best episodes, and I kind of, and also the one where it was just him by himself on Joe Rogan Experience was pretty. Like I came out with like more respect for him, but
the Tim Pool one or Jack Dorsey?
The Jack Dorsey one.
Okay. Tim Pool was just signed recently.
Yes, I know. I know. I gotta check that out, but because I'm not like a huge listener of Joe Rogan. Like I'll just listen whenever I see like there's a guest I like. Like my other favorite episodes are the Travis Barker one and the Tom DeLonge one. Do you know who Tom DeLonge is? You kind of look like him. You have a little bit of Tom in you. You kind of go with the facial hair going.
Yeah, I do know Tom DeLonge.
His one is crazy. If you get a chance to listen,
I don't think I've ever listened to that.
He's talking about like aliens and all this stuff about how he's like interviewing all these like these generals, these ex-generals about like UFOs, and it's just a bunch of nonsense. But yeah, so I could see Twitter going down the whole shithole.
I mean, it's already a shithole. Let's be honest.
And then you see like my guy Brooklyn Dad Defiant. I mean, we all know I'm a huge fan of him.
I started following him after you told me.
Oh, is he not the best follow like in the entire world?
I'm not gonna say best follow. It's a pretty good follow though.
So a couple things about him. As soon as Jack Dorsey announced that he was stepping down, I think he had a tweet where it was like, who thinks that the new CEO of Twitter needs to ban? And then he has like a list of like 10 people he wants to get like banned from Twitter right away. And it's like, yeah, that's like your go-to thing, guy. It's just just like these are all the people that should get banned. But and then I've listened to the did I bring this up on the first episode about how like he has a podcast on YouTube?
I don't think so.
And like the beginning of his podcast is him just shouting out like the first like 5 minutes are him being like, Jason Duan, Justin Trudeau, like just everyone in the comments is just like he just says everyone's name, and it gets like
he's a man of the people.
Yeah, he's a great man. He should be president. But speaking of YouTube, I tried to do something different on
we gotta talk about that.
Yeah, it was not good. It was. I was disappointed in my Hooters. I'm a big Hooters guy.
I love that you had. I do love Hooters too. I love that you had those beers lined up like you were going to be struggling with those wings.
I thought like
it's very clear that you thought you were going to be.
I told the woman. So if anyone doesn't know, on the YouTube, the Justin Show YouTube channel, every Friday I'm going to do some sort of food challenge, whether it be like hot wings, just eating a stupid amount. Perhaps I'll do like some sort of review. I don't know. It's up in the air right now. And I thought, like, what better? Because, I had a Twitter thread a couple weeks ago about, like, how much I love Hooters and wings and things like that. And so I said, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll eat 12 of Hooters' hottest wings in 6 minutes and, record me doing it. And I thought it would go... I thought it would go worse for me, is what I'm trying to say here.
Right. No, I know. Yeah.
So I call the woman up. I say, hey, I want, like... 12 of your hottest wings, and she's like, first of all, we don't sell them in 12. And I was like, okay, and then I want 15 or whatever.
Off to a real good start.
And I was like, the hottest ones you have possible. And I was like, it's for a challenge. Like, I'm not looking for, I literally told her, I was like, I'm not looking for any like flavor. Like, I just want it to be like the hottest possible, even like if they're off the menu. And she's like, oh, you want the smoked 3 Mile Island wings? And I was like, sure, let's do that. And then I even ordered on the side, I ordered 10 mild of like it was like the buffalo flavor, but it's like the mildest. Yeah. Because I was like thinking afterwards, like I want to have something to like cool my mouth down. Right. So I go and bring them back. It's a little bit of a hike for me. Mansfield to Dedham. Go pick them up, bring them back home. I'm all excited. I got my beers lined up. I have a set of rules that I wasn't allowed to, drink anything or even wipe my face or wipe my hands with anything. I was going by Buffalo Wild Wings rules. And I just kind of like plowed through them. It was not hot at all. The entire time I'm talking about like how disappointed I am in Hooters and the lack of heat that I was able to eat. And I go through them. I do the minute afterwards, and then it was just disappointing. So
Do you think now? I'm trying to look up Hooters wings sauces.
Okay, so I looked this up too. So apparently they used to have a 911 sauce that was supposed to be the hottest, but it's not like available anymore, which doesn't make sense to me.
Gotta be honest, they're not really giving me any answers on the website.
No,
You
it's
have to
not.
go through all this stuff, but I do remember I used to go to get the all-you-can-eat wing nights at
Yep.
the Hooters in Rhode Island.
Oh, Warwick.
Yeah, Warwick.
Oh, yep. The
Okay.
old one or before it closed down, or
Before it closed
Yep.
down. Yeah.
No, that one's it reopened.
I was shocked. We actually had our like pre-fantasy draft dinner there.
Yep.
This year. But I do usually get the Daytona wings, which is half barbecue, half hot.
Yep.
Kind of like a little tangy, a little hot. But I used to get 3 Mile Island wings, and I don't remember them being hot.
See, I don't
Maybe
know.
maybe she just fucked up. Maybe the Hooters girl just fucked up.
Probably she probably did. I don't know. She's probably pulling a prank on me. But it was
She's like she's tuned into your YouTube live. Like, look at this.
she's like, oh my god. So anyway, I was like, I was trying to eat these, and I was like, they had like somewhat of like a kick to them. Like it was like built, like it wasn't like I wouldn't throw the sauce in my eyes or anything like that, but it was just like yeah.
You didn't need 6 beers ready to go.
I didn't need anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like I was like, I mean, if you told me like I need to go just eat 12 more of these, like I said, if I had an infinite stomach, I could eat a trillion of those without like ever feeling anything. So
here's what you need to try, and I don't know what you're doing for the next one, but next time you want to try wings, there's a place called the Boneyard.
Boneyard, yep. I've been to there's a Boneyard in Seekonk.
There is.
It's by my parents' house.
Oh, really?
I've been there before. It burned down, but then they fixed it up.
Really?
Yeah, it burned down a couple years ago, I think.
You know the history of every
I
wings
do,
place.
yes. If a wings place had to close down within like a 50-mile radius of me, I know why, when. No, I believe it burned down a couple years ago, and they opened back up like right before COVID hit.
I think I probably went there right after they opened back up because the place seemed like very new on the inside.
Yes.
But they have a very hot wing there that you could try, and I know for sure that it's like
Yes.
they have like the little peppers next to it, tell you how hot it is.
Yep. So
There you
I
go.
actually have I'm not the biggest Boneyard fan.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the actual quality of their wings. I just think the service there sucks.
Yeah, you're right. Well, because that's one of those places where if you go on an off night, the bartender is also your server for a table out in the corral. So you don't get the attention like you get at Hooters. And also, I just like Hooters wings better.
I do too.
Truly.
People are like, "Oh, Justin, you're a horny motherfucker." You're like, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the girls.
Listen,
I don't. I mean, the wings are excellent.
Preach, Justin. I do love going to Hooters,
Of course.
for all the reasons, but I just love the wings, and I always tell the people who like rag on me for that, I'm like, listen, I'll take them to go.
That's what I said. I said I'll eat them in the car.
I've never actually done that, but
Of course.
but you have taken them home.
And like I said, when people are like, I was like, we should go to Hooters, and like, oh, Justin, I was like, I didn't say let's go to fucking a strip club where they have some guy like cooking up frozen wings from 2 years ago. I said no, let's go to Hooters, which is like known for their wings. I'm like, I'll eat them in the car. That's how good.
They're just good wings. It's a fact.
They are. So this week,
What are you doing this week?
So my boy Craig, he has the Paqui.
Oh, the one chip challenge.
The one chip challenge. I'll be doing that. So I'm gonna be figuring out. I believe I'm gonna be heading up to New Hampshire tomorrow night to pick that up from him.
Is he doing it with you, or are you just getting it from him?
No, because he did it on his show.
Okay.
A couple months ago, which was very funny. Everyone should go check that out.
Very good show.
But, yes. So I'll be picking that up from him, and I'll be doing that.
That's exciting.
And I'm committed to these things too. Like I'm not like one of those people who's like, oh, I'll do it, but I'm allowed to like drink during it, or I'm allowed to eat something else. Like no, I think like the whole part of the challenge is you eat it, and then you see how long you can go without.
I think that's going to make for a good video too.
Yes, and
I've seen some people hurting eating these.
Well, here's the thing. If this has no effect on me, then maybe I'm just like a spice god. maybe I mean I just I'm not affected by heat like other people if this goes off without incident, but I think it should be
Do you ever see there's a ton, I don't know if you have TikTok or not, but there's a whole subsection of TikTok of just like people that eat hot shit. Like they'll eat like 3 of those chips, and then they'll get a jalapeno, stuff it with hot Cheetos, cover it with like this crazy sauce, and just like fucking fucking.
Oh, I need to get on TikTok.
Well, if you pass this challenge with flying colors, then I think we might need to get you on TikTok.
Yeah, no, totally. No, that sounds great. I gotta.
So one chip challenge.
There's a couple like people like. So
that's gonna be another Friday night YouTube.
Yep, that's
live.
gonna be 3 days from now.
Now,
So-
are you gonna have those beers on deck again for this? Are you gonna wait? I know you said you're gonna wait.
Yes, so I will have beers on deck.
Okay.
So like, because when I'm done, like I'm going to be.
Right.
I need to drink something to quench the heat, but I'll have everything on deck. But I'm not going to be like eating the chip and then I'm like, oh, let's see, and then like drink one beer and then be like, I'm still doing it. Like no, it's like either you're 100% in or you're 100% out. I think people at Barstool a couple months ago did that. And,
Yeah, they did it for lowering the bar. I think.
Yes, and that was very funny. I will say I watched a little bit of the telethon they have every Cyber Monday, and John Fodelberg started throwing up because they had like some sort of, I don't know if you saw it, they had like a dunk tank like filled with just like shit.
Yeah, what was so I just see the clips. I don't really.
It was
watch
like
it
the
live
more
anymore.
money they sold, the more shit got put in there, and then either Jersey Jerry or Jeff Nadeau would sit in it and try to get dunked by the other one. And at one point, Feidelberg starts throwing up. And, like, I don't mean to sound like it was not a great throw up. Everyone was like, this is the funniest thing ever. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, have you seen my throw up?
Yes.
That was like, I've never, like, I'm not trying to, like, jerk my own dick here, but the amount of.
Well, that was also 100% powered by a gallon of milk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was, like, the most epic throw up I've ever seen in my
Well, it was like
entire
a
life.
perfect stream of milk.
it
There was
was-
no gaps.
It was like, have you ever seen like the old like YouTube video, like I'm firing my laser, and
Yes.
it's just some guy.
Yeah.
It looked like that. It was perfect. Then at the end, where like I probably ripped part of my stomach open or my throat, there was some blood coming out. Yeah, I just thought that was a little bit disappointing, but everyone was kind of saying it was.
His throw up usually is. He's usually like he gags a lot.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
It's almost like sometimes I almost feel like he's
It's for
trying
show.
to make
Yeah,
himself.
yeah.
Yes, he tries to make himself do it for
No,
sure.
but I'm not. I don't know. I don't know with Feidelberg because I mean, if you listen to him, I don't think he does many things for like. I don't think he purposely tries to like. Oh, I'm gonna throw up here because it will be good content.
Yeah,
I think he's just a funny guy.
I think that I don't think he does. I think that's just how it comes off because he's
Yep.
constantly gagging at
Yep.
at everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's something to look forward to on Friday. But yeah, no, it was good to hear Kirk back today. Mike, I got brought up a couple times. I think Mike. Oh, the other thing too is I believe
I was laughing so hard when they were trying to when Kirk first brought up you going over to him.
which I was waved over by Dave, and then someone was like,
"Oh,
did I say that? Yes.
I don't know if you said that."
So
earlier.
Dave waved me over, and
Yeah.
so I'm stuck in this position here where I am literally between a rock and a hard place. Because one, am I like, no, I'm going to stay over here? Because
Right.
you know the show comes up and it's like, Justin was too cool to come say hi or to come sit with us.
Yeah, totally.
And I went over there and I fist bumped Harrison. I fist bumped Dave. I said, Kirk, hey, how's it going? That's literally like, because I'm not like scared of Kirk. I just don't know how to interact with him.
Sure,
Because I know
can
that like
see
I'm going to interact in the wrong way.
Right.
So I did that, and then like I sat down and I was like, because I was talking with Dave and Harrison for a little bit, and then I was like, do I stand back up now and go walk over to my spot where I was sitting by my like it look.
Yeah.
I was just stuck in a bad position.
I was laughing to myself in my car listening to it because at first Kirk is like he was trying to tell me about a T-shirt, and instantly I was like, it's the Kyle Mittenmouse.
So I
It's the
think
Kyle Mittenmouse T-shirt.
I think.
Yeah. So out of that, did you bring that up to him,
I forget. I don't know if I brought it up to him.
or you were talking to like Dave
I
about
think
it?
I might have been talking to Dave, and Kirk was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Well," and like I wasn't trying to sell Kirk a T-shirt. It'd be great if I tried to I brought up the link and I was like, "Yeah, if you want to just purchase one, it's right here."
How many did you sell?
Well, you can count. You can count on no hands.
Okay.
how many
Zero.
T-shirts I sold, but they're gonna blow up soon. Check out.
I knew last week the count was 0. I didn't know if anybody. Had
Oh
put
yeah,
in-
no.
put in any orders
Well,
since then.
to be honest, I haven't checked, so there could be like 200 sold, but anyway, and then I jokingly explained it, and Kirk was like, he was like, "This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard." But
It's fair. It's fair.
Oh, of course,
It's fair.
But yeah, but I will say, like, I wanted to tweet it, like, I was waved over by Dave, like, because Dave was like, hey, come on over, because I didn't want to go be like, oh, hey, Kirk, hope everything's okay. I mean, obviously he knows I hope everything's okay.
That means that Kirk definitely didn't see Dave wave you over.
No, he didn't, because Dave was sitting against a wall, and then Harrison was sitting next to him, and then there were like 3 spaces in between, and then Kirk was at the end.
Dave has got the case by the neck, and he's holding on to that producer job for dear life because he finally got what he wanted, and he doesn't want anything to derail that. He's like, I got it.
Yeah, but it was but yeah, no, I think it was exciting to hear that there was a show up today. But also, like I said, I just hope everything's going swell and he's making everything for the right choice.
To get away from KMS,
of course.
What other podcasts do you normally listen to?
Oh, this is a good question.
And let's get outside of VGS.
Blind Mike Project, very good show. Montante's World,
What the fuck is Montante's World?
I was on Montante's World.
What is
real
that?
Quick. It was this guy from New Jersey. He's kind of
like
like
a KMS person.
Kind of. He kind of like has his own like political. Like he has KMS people on. It's obvious that 99% of his listeners are from the. He has like Ned Snark on.
Yeah, so if he has Ned Snark on,
Jeff
then he's
Nadeau.
Oh, really? Okay.
Visionless Dave.
Well, anyway, I don't need to know any details, but outside of that, what else do you listen to?
So, the first ever podcast I ever listened to was How Did This Get Made? And it's
yeah, that's a good one.
I'm terrible with names, but it's pretty much talking about like bad movies and like how the fuck did this like get made into a movie.
It's my god,
it's a bunch of the guys from
June
the
Diane.
league.
Yes, it's June Diane. It's Paul.
Yep.
God damn. Here it is. Paul Scheer, June
Yep.
Diane, which is his wife, and
Yep.
then Jason Matazukis,
Yes.
who is Rafi.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like I found it out because I was trying to look up like the people from the league, what they were been up to, and I listened to, I think it was like the Fast and Furious like 6 or 7, and I remember like pissing myself laughing.
Oh, that's one of the best ones. I think it was 6, and that's one of their best.
Oh,
episodes.
when they're talking about like how they're fucking superhuman, I remember like pissing myself laughing.
That's a great podcast.
I listen to that whenever there's like a movie I'm interested in. Probably the podcast I listen to the most is Cumtown. I don't know if you're familiar with Cumtown.
I'm only familiar with it because Blind Mike talks about it.
Okay, so it's these 3. It's these 2 kind of like comedians from Baltimore, Nick Mullen and Stavros Halkias, and they have a third guy, Adam Freeland, who's like he's a friend of theirs. He's from Las Vegas, and he's Jewish, and he's kind of like the guy they all pick on the show. He's kind of like the I can't keep bringing this back to people in the. I was gonna say he's kind of like the Mike of the VGS, where he gets get shit on and everything like that. But it's a very, very funny podcast, extremely successful. I think they have like $130,000 a month on Patreon.
Wow.
And it's just them. It's literally just them telling like stupid dick jokes. And like there's this one episode where all they do is they just go through movies and they just replace a name, one of the words in the name with like penis. Okay. And so they'll be like, The Lord of the Penis, The Return of the Penis. It's like, I don't know. They just do that like it's the stupidest thing. It's hard to explain, but it's the funniest show I've ever heard.
I gotta subscribe to that right now.
You should. It's especially if you listen to like the early episodes where they really, before they kind of, because they were like just 3 comedians who were like scraping by. I think at one point Nick said he was making like, on paper he made like $19,000 one year. And then like you cut to like, this was like 5 years ago, and now you cut to now and he's making like $1 million a year from T-shirt sales and everything like that. I listened to that. I listened to there's a couple of Barstool podcasts I do listen to. Son of a Boy Dad is very funny. With
Son of a Boy Dad is one of my favorite shows right now.
It's funny.
It is funny.
I think Little Sass is so talented.
Same.
I think he's going to. I don't necessarily want to say Barstool is going to limit him, but I think his brand will be something that like kind of goes into like an Alex Cooper, where kind of like he outgrows Barstool.
It's very clear that he does stand up as well.
Yep.
It's very clear that his stand up is going to take off. Like
yes, I think he's going to be
very dedicated to it.
Yep. I think he's going to be like that generation, because I think he's like 19 or 20. He's going to be like extremely popular in like 5 years. I could see him like selling out Wilbur shows like by him. He Son of a Boy Dad already had like 2 live shows in Boston.
Yeah.
It wasn't at the Wilbur. I think it might have been at like Laugh Boston. But,
yeah, I think you're right. I think it was.
But they sold out. It's a very funny show. I think the Anus Boys, another untold story.
Yes.
Nick and KB are very funny. And then there's just like a couple other comedians. Like I like listen to Ari Shaffir's podcast. Like I said, Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, Joe, like you said, I'm kind of an in and out. I think a lot of people are.
I feel like I don't know many people who
listen to every episode.
Who are like listen to every episode.
Yeah, no. Which it makes it even more impressive for his download numbers.
Yes, because I think it like some people will be like, oh, he has, you know.
Because I could go 10 episodes without listening to a second of one.
Yes,
and then all of a sudden, you know, whoever's on, Snoop Dogg's on.
Exactly.
Like, hell yeah,
oh yeah, fuck yeah. I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, Son of a Boy Dad's very funny. Sass, his comedy reminds me of Tim Dillon a lot.
Yes.
The absurdist, like tweeting and things like that.
Like he had a little Sass just had a tweet like an hour ago. Actually, it was very funny. Bring it up. It's talking about he always like puts out these tweets that I think it was
a Ruth Kondo one, right?
Yes, like his goal is to go viral with people that don't know he's.
My son, 6, just asked me if his Elf on the Shelf will be returning from the North Pole tomorrow for December. Yes, he will be, I replied. Is he fully vaxxed and complying with the current mask mandates recommended by the CDC, he asked. And then he says, I have never been so proud as a father. 26,000 likes right now at this point.
Oh, my God.
Fucking crazy.
And I'd like to see the breakdown. I wish you could like have like I like this ironically like section to know how many people like liked it as in like oh my God, like that's beautiful. Like I can't believe the future is bright.
That's why Twitter needs to implement that downvote button or the down button, the like thumbs down button permanently, because those are the people that will be like, oh, well, you're making fun of like those people. Are like, you need to. I want to see those people.
Yes, you got to see the dislike. We need to stop getting rid of like, you know how YouTube just got rid of the dislike button.
It's so ridiculous.
So it makes
especially since creators can already hide those buttons. You can hide the numbers. Like you can put a thumbs up, but you can hide the numbers. So who cares?
Yes, and plus like you still see the only thing you're hiding is like publicly.
Yeah.
So like on the most like the episode I posted last week, I think I got like 6 dislikes.
Yeah.
But you can only see like you can't see that unless you're logged in as me, and then like I'm able to see it. But it's like why like that should be an option.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be like why can't.
So they got rid of dislike. They're gone.
So you can still dislike it.
Yeah.
But you can't see how many dislikes.
Weird.
So like you know how like I think the most disliked video was like YouTube Rewind 2019.
So then they must still work that into the algorithm then. That's why they keep.
So.
That's why they technically they hide it, but they still.
But
keep
they said
the
they got rid of it because it was like because of like targeted harassment campaigns. Where I'm thinking to myself, well, Jesus Christ, if you look up videos like fucking like Friday by Rebecca Black or Justin Bieber's Baby, I think was like the most disliked. It was also the most viewed video.
Right.
So I don't think these people give a shit if they're being.
Well, I think YouTube's a little hurt from when their 2018
YouTube Rewind
got like
we've got the most
so many dislikes.
And it's like, well, I mean, this is just kind of like why can't people? So you're able to like something? I don't know. I think we're gonna go in like 2 years. It's gonna be like I like this, and then I really like this, and those are gonna be the only two. Yeah. But it's funny. You still sometimes see like some comments that will say like this comment, like use this comment as a dislike button.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, people will find a way around it.
Yeah. So, I think that about.
Also, people disliked your video. You eating wings? Show your face, cowards.
No, this wasn't me eating wings. This was episode 1.
Oh, show your face, cowards.
No, they all know who they are. They were in the comments. Yeah. They were trying to get me going.
Fucking assholes.
But yeah, no. Speaking of, so I was on this Montantes. Guy.
Oh right.
I was on I came on Sunday. The episode released. I believe yesterday, or maybe it was Sunday night, and I had a good time. He was he's a good guy.
I'm gonna subscribe to that as well. How do you spell that? Montante?
Montante.
Okay. Yeah, I'll find it.
There's like for some reason when you look it up on Apple, there's like 2. I don't know. It's very strange. He has like 2 Twitter profiles that are exactly the same, and he has 2 podcast feeds that are exactly. I don't know. No, I had a blast going on it, but it was funny because he told me beforehand. He's like, just so you know, I'm going to bring up the GoFundMe controversy, and I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And he goes, he's like, apparently, like, people are saying
Kaylee one.
Yeah, Carly.
Carly.
She's like, you stole money from people, pretending this girl's paralyzed. I was like, no, it's a friend of a friend. She got into a car accident and she's paralyzed. So I tweeted out a GoFundMe, and that maybe raised like $70. Like,
is she really a friend of a friend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she is. I mean, there's.
Well, I know there was some speculation about that.
Yeah, there's this whole conspiracy that she's
an OnlyFans mom.
Yeah, she has an OnlyFans. She's a friend of a friend. I mean, okay. It's like, I don't know, and I felt bad that she's paralyzed at 22, so I tweeted out.
That's terrible. Obviously awful.
So people were trying to.
People are very cynical.
Yeah, but it was. But I thought that was fun. But I know I had a great time. Go definitely check him out. He has a couple. He's like I said, his guests are like Ned Snark and Jeff Nadeau, but
he had a good time on it.
Yeah, he does a good job. So definitely go check that out. But I think that about. Anything else in your world you want to bring up, Matthew?
Nothing really. I'm just I know that I think we got some excitement about possibly doing a video game stream.
Oh yes.
I had some people reach out.
Oh really?
And they're kind of excited about wanting to see that.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I mean, I know that your food things are on Fridays. Maybe in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, totally.
Maybe before Christmas, we can do.
Oh, totally.
We can do a little video game stream.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun.
I don't know how we do that. Maybe we do that via internet from our own houses, or maybe we do it here.
Yeah, no, definitely.
If I can get the speeds high enough here to do a little stream.
I should say I completely fucked up. You'll find out I'm not the best. I'm decent at communicating once I get going, but I'll just like go off the rails and just forget about things for like a week or so. So I messaged Matt yesterday. I was like, "Are we still good for 6:30 today?" And he was like, "I don't think we're supposed to be." Like,
truthfully, I didn't really have much going on, but I didn't know what time I was going to get done with my other job. Of course. So, to get here to the studio, whatever. But yeah, we can Mondays pencil it in.
Yeah, we'll be recording here. Pencil it in. Let's bang it out next Monday. Because I will say, I don't know, next Monday. Do you know what next Monday is?
I don't.
Patriots are playing the Bills in Buffalo.
Oh shit! All right,
so
we can probably get done a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah, no, we'll get done before.
We'll get it out of here.
8. It's I was gonna say I don't think I'm gonna obviously I'm not gonna go, but it was up in the air because I go to the Patriots games.
It's in Gillette?
In Buffalo. No, it's in Buffalo.
Oh, it's in Buffalo. Oh yeah, that's right. You said that. You're a Bills Mafia guy.
I'm not a Bills Mafia guy.
But you go to Bills Mafia.
I just go to the Patriots Bills games. I'm a huge Patriots fan.
Yeah.
I'm like they're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. Pencil it in.
I mean, it's hard to argue.
I mean, here's what I say. Like I'm right more times than I'm wrong when it comes to the Patriots.
Well, Tom Brady helps you with that.
He does. He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right more times than I'm wrong with Tom Brady. But yeah, I was like, but I don't want to go on a Monday night, and because then you think about it, you have to get there Sunday, then you got to spend all Monday just kind of hanging out in Buffalo. And Buffalo's a sad city. That's how I would describe it. It's just sad.
I went to a Bucks game in Buffalo.
Yep.
And that's apt.
If you stay in the city and then you drive to the stadium, it's the most depressing drive you'll ever see.
It's the
all you see are just empty factories and empty buildings.
Yeah, I agree.
And you're just like, because you could tell that like years ago this place used to be like bumping, like just like it was a hub of trade and everything like that. And it's just a depressing.
Not anymore. I did have good wings from Buffalo.
Oh, they have the best wings there.
I did have some good wings from the place that supposedly was like the originator.
Oh, the Anchor Bar, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
They got great wings.
Yeah, the Anchor Bar.
Duff's has great wings. There's this place right outside University of Buffalo. Actually, it's not called University of Buffalo. It's called University at Buffalo. The only college I've ever heard using at. I've heard like...
Doesn't the other University of Miami do that? University at Miami or Miami?
The one out of Ohio?
Yeah, or is it just Miami of Ohio?
I always just heard Miami of Ohio.
That could be wrong.
Let's see. Craig just texted me. What did he say? Real quick. What time were you thinking? I'm just going to say 2 a.m.
For what?
I said, what time should I come pick up the chip tomorrow?
Oh, okay.
So I'll just say 2 a.m. See his response to that. But no, there's this great place. If you live in Western New York, it's called Jesus Christ, the Amherst Ale House.
Okay.
Oh, it's their pizza. Buffalo food is so underrated, I will say. Oh, it's such good food. They have incredible pizza, incredible wings.
I do find it strange that the stadium is like right in the middle of like a neighborhood.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like literally in the middle of a suburban neighborhood.
It's literally like you'll park on someone's lawn
Yeah.
and then like you'll walk over.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So let's pencil in Mondays.
Cool.
That
Mondays
sounds good to me. Anything else you feel like bringing up, or
No,
I'm glad I got you off the communist way. At least I know.
I needed to clarify.
You were thrown in the re-education camp for a little bit, but then you kind of explained yourself. You talked your way out of it.
I'm glad I could talk my way out of it for sure.
But it was but no, if you eat ham, not if you eat ham. If ham replaces turkey as the main dish, you need to be.
I think we just hit 100 times saying ham.
Yeah, ham.
101. That's 106.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're good.
But yeah, I think that about does it. Definitely check us out. Hopefully this will be. So my goal is to drop this as obviously if you're listening to this on the RSS feed, then it's up and it's running. Hopefully that's up. Otherwise, you're watching this on YouTube. I appreciate. Oh, you can see this. I'm wearing my Merry Christmas sweatshirt.
It's a great sweater.
It's the funny. I can't stop laughing whenever I think about it. Just the idea of my family bought 7 of these.
7.
7.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
One for everyone in my immediate family, one for my grandfather, one for my grandmother. So yeah, we bought 7 of them.
Amazing.
And I think we're going to go to Milton's and recreate the photo of just us. Like that's where we're going to take our
with your family.
Yes, with my family, wearing these sweatshirts. So
that's good.
So
I'm sure that'll get a lot of.
We'll see. But I'm my apologies. Last thing I wanted to bring up was beautiful vaulted podcast. This place
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I should have brought this up earlier.
Even though I'm being told it's not going anywhere and this is just a failure. I appreciate you bringing it up.
Yeah, no. This place is awesome. Definitely, please check them out. Follow it on Twitter. There's so much. You say you guys make music videos, short movies.
we do as Yellow. So our main company is Yellow Canoe Creative, and we can do music videos. We do videography stuff, but this studio just happens to be here, and I'm interested in podcasts. So if you want to record a podcast here, like Justin is doing right now, Vaulted Podcasts at Vaulted Podcasts on Twitter and vaultedpodcastsri.com. You can book right on there.
Just check it out, and also I'll be honest, Matt's probably underselling a little bit too, because I looked at the prices he's charging, and then you look at the prices other people are charging, and they are charging a lot more than what is currently being offered.
That's always been my motto when it comes to running a business. I've been trying to undercut. So it's very cheap to run it here, and you get me as your producer, not necessarily a producer, but I will run and teach you how to run any of the boards that we have here. So you could do it yourself, or you can ask me to help. I will happily do that.
Who doesn't want to say they have their own podcast? If you're listening to this right now and you're like, I can do this, Justin sucks, then fucking do it. hit up podcast.
Yes, good point. Fuck you all. If you think you can do better, then fucking have a podcast.
Yes, exactly.
Everybody can have one. Everybody's got one.
Awesome. So definitely check that out. And thanks, Matt, for doing this. Appreciate it big time.
No problem.
And I will talk to you guys all next week, and hopefully see you Friday when I'm doing the hot chip challenge.
I can't wait for that.
Awesome. I'll see you guys. Bye.